Hey folks, welcome back. Still in that Nofap life. It's technically speaking day 114, hard mode day 174, easy mode. And I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about the concept of internet addiction. I want to talk about the exercise challenge that's been on hold for a while, but I'm going to get around to it. I want to talk about whether or not porn should be banned. Now, the internet addiction idea or concept was brought back to my attention because I went back to the Nofap forums and I started reading back through what was my longest running Nofap journal, which was back when I was 29. And there was a specific post that I came across which really made me realize that this whole thing is like a lot larger than I might have treated it as. And what I mean by that is that, see, I said in the post that the whole PMO addiction is actually just a subset of a large internet addiction. And I think I had come to that conclusion or agreed to that, statement after I'd watched, I watched a video by this YouTuber named Shadowgrave. I don't think he's still posting anymore, but there was that video, and then I had a discussion with some friends about just the whole idea, of internet porn addiction and that sort of thing. But um, his idea was that the NoFap movement should actually be the No Internet movement because it's like there's the PMO addiction is just like a subset of being addicted to the internet. That whole constant stimulation, constant novelty. You can have 10 tabs open, watching 100 different, uh, 100 different video clips, 10 clips running in each tab, or, one after the next after the next, or even if it's just 10 videos, still, that's still, a lot more than one would have had access to before the internet, in all likelihood. But, um, I, I think what really made that sort of relevant to me in my own life was the fact that I had an epiphany. I think it was about a week ago. I think maybe it was when I was actually reading that entry. But I realized that as far as well, yeah, I'm fasting right now. But anyways, it was it was during reading that I realized that my day to day routine is such that if I were asked to define the physical confines of my life, the boundaries of it, it would mostly be you know, within these walls, within these four walls. Um, minus trips to go get food, or go to the class, or go to the library, or take a shower, use the restroom. Other than that, I'd say 90 to 95% of of my life, at this point is in this room. And what am I doing in this room that makes it doable? Mental sense. Well, I'm on the internet, and even if I'm not watching, I'm not doing PMO anymore, which I'm not. Um, even though I'm not doing that, there's still YouTube, there's still Facebook, there's still things of that nature. And it's not that those things are evil in and of themselves, or that you know oh, we got to get rid of social media and all that. It's not a matter of that. It's like with the PMO addiction. I mean, I can argue against pornography just in general, and I don't see a way of quote unquote purifying it and making it therefore okay. But at the same time, I have to ask the same question. That that question is that's what are the underlying issues? What is it that's making something like social media, or the internet in general so addicting, And the the example that really I think I can use to explain why that is the case is this video I watched. I think it was I think it was a few days ago actually, but it might have been a week ago, might have been around that same time. But it was this video of this Norwegian skier who he was working for a German like sports equipment company, kind of making a promotional video. He went to the Atlas Mountains in Morocco, when it was, I think it was winter, because it was covered in snow, and he was going skiing over there, using their skis and being able to say like, oh look, if you buy this company's skis, this is what you can do with it. You can go out and have these adventures and that sort of thing to kind of promote their their product line or whatever. But it's like I was watching that video because in my heart and my mind, I want to go back to Morocco. I want to go there during the winter, especially, and I want to be able to do those sorts of things. But I can't do that right now. So what's the next best thing? Well, like I guess I can kind of stimulate the experience by watching, sort of a GoPro video, some guy skiing down the slopes, and as much as that kind of stuff, does take the edge off of like sort of the boredom and the lack of fulfillment, in life, and perhaps the feeling of just like not really succeeding at things, to the point that I could do that. It doesn't really like it's not real, It's not real. It's kind of like a PMO. Like you can trick your mind into thinking that you're the man and you got all these women after you and yada yada yada, but it's just a lie, And if you really want to, I guess, become that high status male, or go climb that mountain, go ski there, go travel this, that, and the other places, go travel to those places, have that kind of life, you got to really confront the issues that are in your life that are preventing you from doing that, as opposed to going off and, watching a gazillion videos and just always being entertained. And that's what I'm having to do. So I think that's it for that topic. When I did my first run through of this video, I kind of ran into a snag and then I deleted it. But I think I had a lot more to say. But then again, I kind of felt like I was rambling. So, anywho, gonna move on to the next topic, which is an exercise challenge. I know I keep putting it off, and one of the things that has kept me putting it off is, as far as excuses are concerned, is that while I have done exercise, in the past and done that kind of thing, I wanted to make this really scientific and actually have like stats I could say, oh, this is my body fat percentage, this is my weight, this is my muscle percentage or what have you, and then be able to come back 2 weeks or a month, in, and be able to say, hey folks, this is, this is what's happened, this is the, these are my numbers now, and be able to compare and contrast and be able to see whether or not I've, for one thing, kept consistent to the plan, and number two, if there's actually been, effects and changes, that sort of thing. Because one thing that I found with exercise, like I remember back, I think I was 27 or 28, it was a few years ago. I would get up at like 4:30 in the morning since I had an 8 a.m. class and I wanted to get the exercise in. I'd run like 2 or 3 miles every day. And I had sort of a moment there where I think I was kind of like looking at myself in a mirror, and I realized that, not only was it having an effect, but it was kind of like for the longest time I thought it wasn't having an effect, and it was because I was purely relying on, um, my own perception as opposed to, having a device that I could use to measure numbers wise and go, okay, well, I was 20% body fat, 2 weeks ago, and now I'm 18% body fat, or a month ago I was 20%, and now I'm 16%, or I'm 15, or I'm 10, whatever, being able to actually look at those numbers and say like, there actually has been a change. So that's been like, I wanted to make this something that I can actually document and have actual numbers for. Now I kind of got inspired, you could say I got inspired, as far as that aspect was concerned, by this guy named Mark Dressen, and I've, watched his, 500 rep and 1,000 rep challenge videos, in the past, and basically he would do like 500 reps of calisthenic exercises or bodyweight exercises, and then along with that, I think he did some cardio as well, and eating a certain diet, I guess, as well, and did that for 2 weeks at a time, and tracked his progress. So that's what I'm trying to do that. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to go more like long term. You're talking about a month, 2 months, 3 months, but I'm trying to use that same sort of approach of actually having like data that I can actually compare and contrast. So once that thing arrives, and I'm probably today out as well, I'll order some sort of a scale so I can get a weight measurement. But that being said, having covered that, moving on to the third and final topic, which also came up during one of 24/7 Betterment's live videos, getting some sort of inspiration, there, watching his videos and participating. But the topic was, should porn be banned? And I think I may have talked a bit about this in some video long ago. And I know that X Nostradamus, when he was active, he did a video on it because I guess Russia had gone ahead and banned internet pornography in their country. They blocked all these different websites and whatnot. But to get to my opinion on it, as much as I am against it, and I don't see any way of making it, like quote unquote purifying it. Like I used the analogy last video of, you can take an alcoholic beverage, remove the alcohol, and you have all these other things there that can be considered benefits, like the protein, the calories, the hydration. Even if you had just in a social environment, people gather to have that, they can get some sort of relaxation, sort of some entertainment, and enjoyment out of it without having the alcohol there, without having the hangovers and all the kind of negative side effects like drunk driving and that sort of thing. Even though I feel that you can't take pornography and make it like that, I don't feel that it should be banned, and there's a couple of reasons. For one thing, I think that you're gonna have a better effect and more likely to be able to cause people to at the very least consider not engaging in that anymore if you use reasoned arguments as opposed to just legislating it. And part of that has to do with the fact that for most people, in my opinion, and it's been my experience, it's kind of like people will only do quote unquote the right thing in public, but in private, which is where most pornography use occurs, they will do as they wish, and if they do get punished for it, they're not necessarily gonna feel sorry because they did the bad thing. They're gonna feel sorry for getting caught, and that's just human nature, I think, in many ways, which is why when people talk about the saints or the righteous or the good people or the pious ones or what have you, they're such an exception to the rule because they're able to transcend that I'm sorry for getting caught as opposed to I'm sorry for doing the wrong thing, you know, hurdle, and they end up doing the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing or for the sake of some higher cause or reason or so. So other than that reason, I had to say that what happens oftentimes, I feel, or I've found, is that if you go and you make something illegal, it only makes it more desirable. It's kind of the forbidden fruit effect. And as much as we've heard, I mean, in the, like, for instance, that live video, 24/7 Betterment, he shared like this other video in there where this guy's talking about the actual nature of the porn industry and so on. And I do feel there's something seriously wrong with that. I still feel again that legislating it, trying to ban it, it increases that desirability of it. People want what they can't have. They want that forbidden fruit, and it makes it even more like, it creates more of a mystery about it. Like, what is that? Why are they banning it? People who haven't been exposed to it in particular, and creates kind of probably more of a rush for some folks if they are able to get onto that, stuff and find it and get their hands on it and not get caught, and it just creates more of an allure as opposed to um, sort of demystifying it and showing it for what it really is, and providing not only reasoned arguments but actual evidence as to why that stuff is not good and why that industry is not, good for the individual and for humanity as a whole. So if we take the approach of actually providing reasoned arguments and evidence as to why PMO is bad and why internet PMO is bad and why the porn industry is, bad or evil or what have you, it's a detriment to the individual, to society, I think you're going to be able to find um, more people who are willing to, at the very least, consider Nofap, and maybe even try it out. So, and see what they find, see how things work for them. Excuse me, and I think that's probably a better approach, better path to take. So, anywho, before I ramble on way too much, I'm gonna finish this video and thanks, folks, for tuning in. Thanks for watching my content, and I'll see you around. Bye.